Awesome. What's going on, family? How y'all doing today? How are you guys doing? How have you guys been? I mean, I'm super excited right now. Most of you should be doing some major moves right now in your life. You know, we are in the last quarter, and we moved over into the last quarter of the year, and it's very important for you to really pay attention to what's going on, right? It's extremely important for you to pay attention to what's going on in life. What exactly are you doing in your life? What's really happening, right? And you want to make sure that you're always paying attention. I want to know all you guys, what cities you guys are coming in from. Thank you guys for showing up today. I always tell everyone, tag a friend and tag a friend and tag a friend. You know, even in your movement of travels, even in your movement of saying, oh, well, I'm so busy. Sometimes you got to slow up. You got to slow up, take a deep breath and ask yourself, am I busy being productive or am I busy being busy? See, because a lot of us are saying, I'm too busy. I can't really get with you. So ask yourself that question. Am I busy being productive? Slow up a minute. Or am I busy being busy? This is very important for us to understand the importance of that, right? Am I busy being productive or am I busy being busy? Because one of the things I was looking at some documents earlier, and I was reading a few things that I've studied, and I said, wow, some of the information I wrote down over time, I was just amazed by how these things affected my life, right? And how you hear a lot of us, we may say things in similarity, but sometimes we are going with what the masses may say or think, but do we really understand what some of these things are? What do these things mean, right? Like, for instance, right, one of the quotes I looked at, a quote of Confucius that I documented one of the times. It says, the will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential, these are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. That was so powerful when I read it. And I'll say it again because I want to make sure that you guys grasp this, right? The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential, these are the keys that will unlock the door of personal excellence. I'm hoping somebody documented that. Because when I saw that many years ago, when I read it and I said, you know what, oh, hold on, I need to document this. In that journey, I started to read the book called Think and Grow Rich. And that was many, many years ago. When I read this quote that I just read to you guys, I fully didn't grasp it. Then when I got into the book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, it started to make me realize how important these feelings that I had, these feelings that I still have, how important it is. And what is really the will? What is really the desire? How do I understand these things? So when I read that quote, the will to win, I was extremely young. The desire to succeed. All I knew is that I just wanted things really bad. All I knew is that I wanted to accomplish comfort that will allow me the ease to get through any door I want to. See, that was just the focal point at that time in my life, right? You're young, you're fired up, you're blazing, woo! And I just wanted to. But then I didn't understand. I said, I just knew that I had this, man, I just wanted. But I didn't know that I just wanted was the desire. I didn't know that urge that was so powerful and the moving forward of it was stimulated by my will. I didn't understand that. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to get your full potential, to reach your full potential. It's the keys to unlocking the door of your personal success. So I want to make sure that you guys, as we dive into that, I want to make sure that somebody has documented this and you guys have really let that sink in for a second. Let it sink in. I want to make sure that you guys get it really well. Let it sink in. And when you feel this quote that's sunk in, if it sank in to you, I want you guys to type in the chat how it made you feel. I want you to type in the chat how it made you feel. Because it's very important for us to be on the same page. It's very important for us to know where we are. It's very important. Okay? I want to make sure. I know we got folks out here. I know we got folks out here. So somebody talk to me. Somebody talk to me. Somebody tell me how they felt. Somebody talk to me. Because this is extremely important when we look at these things that's going on in our lives. You want to understand, because this is so important. Let me. I said today, my team reached out to me. They said, "Are you doing the call? Are you doing the leadership summit today?" And there's been so much happening. There's been so much happening, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do the leadership summit today because there's so much going on, so much that is in my space. But I did what I said to you all earlier as I started the call, this short talk. I slowed up. And I said, take a pause, Mr. Boston. You're busy. But are you busy right now being productive? Or are you busy being busy? Do you have an obligation? Do you have an obligation? Did you profess to something bigger than yourself that you will use the information that you continue to take in and educate, share this information? So how dare you get into busy mode and know that you have a right to do what needs to be done under the guise of the information that you're taking in, that's being given to you, so that you can share it with others. And this is why I'm here. I'm here because I understand education. I'm here because I understand conviction. I'm here because I understand dedication. I'm here because I understand potential. See, as we dive in, just got a few things for y'all today, but I want to make sure that you really get a grasp. Because on these leadership summits that we do, we have strategic conversations, and I am so fired up. Even in my movement, I didn't realize, I said, wow, would I be this fired up? It tells me that I continue to oil the engine. So if I slow up, then I'm not doing what I need to do. Because the will to win is extremely important. I'm wanting somebody to hold on to this and follow me. Now, I want to point out three things, and I'm gonna have a short talk on those, on these three things in full on another summit. But I want you guys to hold on to these three things, as you've heard about the will, the desire, the urge. The will, the desire, the urge. You heard about it. But I need you all to hold on to, in the order of how I'm going to give these three things. You've heard it all your life, but most of us really have not dived in to the depth of what it means. The first one, knowledge. Write it down. Knowledge. The first one is knowledge. The second is understanding. The second is understanding. And the third is wisdom. See, a lot of you right now, you're saying, but I know that. No, I want you to hold on to that. Knowledge, first one. Understanding, the second. Wisdom, the third. Now, I want you to understand something, because you must always acquire the knowledge first. So wherever, whatever you have decided or say or said to yourself or declared to yourself that should be done, it cannot and will not be done without you acquiring the knowledge. So knowledge is information. Said I don't want to go deep into this, but just tapping in. Knowledge is information. I want to make sure you guys are getting this. Knowledge is information. So when you said the will and the desire, guess what? You have this thing that you are fired up with or about. But you really don't know what that thing is. Or you said, okay, I'm just going to blaze ahead. But see, here's the thing about blazing ahead. We must have some knowledge as to what it is that we are blazing towards. Now I'm going to pause right there because I'm not going to dive into these three right now. I'm not going to go into depth of it, but I'm going to talk about one of them as we dive into these few things. Understanding. Now, wisdom is essentially where you will want to get to. Wisdom is essentially where you want to get to. But understanding is what we will tap in just a little bit on in regards to this will, desire, and urge. Understanding. I want to make sure you guys hold on to it, write it down. You know, when you come here, we ask, listen, grab your pen and pads, grab your notes in your iPad, your iPhone, your Galaxy, whatever it is that you have. Because there's something that might just be for you, or it might be for someone that you need to give it to. So understanding, hold on to that because it's extremely important for us to understand what understanding is and what it means. It's extremely important for us to understand this. Because, see, you cannot acquire anything or achieve the level of which you are seeking without having understanding. See, some of y'all right now, you're hearing this, and what is he talking about? Let me give you an example. Most of you right now, most of us, we have a car. Most of you can take the keys, push it in the car. You know exactly what happens. You know how the car, okay, turn it on, and I drive. You know that. You have knowledge of that. But see, most of you do not understand the mechanism of how the car actually works. You do not understand the depth of when the keys go in or when the push start happen, what happens after that triggers to the next level that allows that engine to start. If you guys are with me, type 1 in the chat. If you guys are with me, type 1 in the chat. If you're with me, type 1 in the chat. See, you have to have the specialty skill to know the depth of it. Or you had to have done the research. So the direction, the distance, the places that you say, I want to get to, I need to reach there, I want to do this, I want to do that, you must have understanding of that thing or that place. You must have understanding, because what will happen or can happen when you try to get to that place, you will see yourself slipping back down consistently. So now, for most of us, this happens. All of us, we go through these things, and you're saying to yourself, now, what's going on in my life? Why haven't I made it yet? I said I'm going to do this. I did it, but then nothing came out of it. I know they say that it takes a certain time before your business grows. I know they say that you got to continue to try, but why am I failing so much? And I understand failure is a part of the process. I'm talking to the person who's past certain level right now. Because the person who may not have passed this level of knowledge couldn't get to understanding. So now you're at understanding, you're saying, why isn't this happening? See, it is happening because you arrived and have knowledge of, but not understanding of. Come on, somebody. You see, you have arrived. You have knowledge of, but not understanding of. So you're trying to become successful. So let's talk about it. We're looking at economics. We look at the economy. We look at what we've been trying to achieve, whether we're brown, light, black, whatever it is. We're trying to achieve things in our lives. What are we essentially trying to do? What are most people trying to do? Most people are trying to acquire a life that will put them at ease, to not have to stress and want for anything. So let's look at how we can use the knowledge that we can seek, which is information. So we're going to use the word information. Let's look at the information that we need to seek for. And then understanding is interpretation. Understanding is interpretation. You have to be able to interpret the knowledge to understand it. So when the failures have been coming, it's coming because you lack the interpretation of what is coming to you. Let me give you guys an example as I give you guys 8 things. I want to really just give you guys 8 solid things as we talk about getting rich. I want to talk about that. And a lot of you might say, "Oh, wow, how did this go from here to here?" Because I want to make sure you understand that abundance and the flow of it, the flow of wealth, the flow of riches, it's already here. It surrounds you. It's already in your vicinity. It's already in your territory. It's flowing at a different frequency around you all the time. But see, that information has to be obtained. And now the understanding of that information must be interpreted so that you can move from the level of which you're on to the level of the frequency that the thing which you're seeking is on. I'm hoping somebody's following me. So it's as if you're going upstairs, some flight of stairs, you got 12 stairs in your home. And to get to the top means that you have gotten to the top of the mountain. But you cannot get to the top with just a leap from the bottom. You have to take each stair, each flight. And as you go up each flight, you learn something new. You understand that there is a process, and in the process, there is a journey, and in the journey, there would be some wear and tear or something that will come along the way. That when you get to the top, you find that you sigh, whew, got to the top. There's a relief. Because anytime we're doing this, there will always be some type of pressure, some type of resistance. When you're doing this, it's a total different thing. So you've been doing a lot of this because the knowledge came, but the interpretation of that information, which would allow understanding to be your portion, hasn't arrived as of yet. If you guys are following, put some 7s in the chat. If you all are following me, put some 7s in the chat. I need to know that you guys are up and alive out there. Up and alive out there in the Facebook world, in the Clubhouse role, wherever you guys are, put some 7s in the chat, because this is extremely important for you to understand. Now let's look at this. We start talking about, I want to be rich, I want to be wealthy, I want to be this. You came on the right call today, because I'm going to give you 8 things that I think is solid for you to run with. You would have said, okay, well, wow, I need to do a coaching session with Mr. Boston. I need to get with the team. And no, I'm going to give it to you because it was given to me. And to whom much is given, much is required. See, it just makes sense when the information comes in and I interpret it. So write it down, guys. I'm going to give you guys 8 things, and we're going to let's dialogue about this. 8 assets, 8 assets, 8 assets that can bring riches to your door. But remember, please remember where we started. I want you to understand this. Please remember where we started. We started about the will. We started with the desire. We started with the urge. So 8 assets. Let's talk about it. Now, most of you are here and you're like, okay, I want to acquire things. I want to do well. I want to win, but you're not moving, or you don't know how to move, or you're saying, okay, well, I'm looking at all these ads and going on YouTube and I'm doing all these different things. What's really happening? Now, guys, here's a quick blueprint. Number 1, what you want to do as an individual, if you are listening out there, is 1, start a business. Start a business. There are going to be some simple steps that you might say, I heard these things before, but there's a big but. Remember, information. You've probably been getting loads of information, but not the interpretation to understand the information. So a business, that's 1, a business. See, a lot of us, when it comes down to a business, why things do not work for most of us is that, see, a lot of us, we have the wrong idea of how rich people, how they operate. Most of them, they didn't sweat, they didn't put no work in to get to where they are. This was just handed to them. But if you only knew that most of these individuals had to put so much work in, because it is not easy running a major organization as to how you may think. And if you are feeling that way about those who are doing massive things, then you cannot attract that which you seek. So even if you did the basic work, it cannot come to you, the interpretation or the understanding, because you're a repellent based on your mindset. I'm hoping somebody's following me. So a business, you want to start a business. You know, creating a profitable business, create a profitable business, it is hard work, but you can create one. It's not difficult. Create a business. Every self-made millionaire or billionaire had to put in work. Had to put in work, because there is the 2 types of vision. There's many types of vision, but you got the personal and you got the corporate. And when you're seeking multi-millions or billions, it's never a personal vision anymore, because a personal vision only requires you and just a few that will allow it to be executed. When it's a corporate vision, you're talking billions. Billions represent economies globally. That will take other individuals to be in alignment with a vision that will come in alignment with you, right? So understand, starting a business, it's a phenomenal way to really change your dynamic, so you can think about whatever that business is, whatever you want to start. There's tons of information. Gather the information. Start. Remember the will, the desire. Start, okay? This is extremely important, right? So when you, as an entrepreneur, when you do just that, when you start that business, see, entrepreneurs, they create the assets that will earn them income. This is extremely important. As an entrepreneur, you create the assets that will earn you income throughout the rest of your life. While on an employee side, you're living paycheck to paycheck. So what do we want to do? We want to move as an employee, if that's where we are now, and let that be considered your secondary position, because when you leave that job for the day, you come and work on your first position. which is that business. So now that secondary position, which is your employment position, will be used as a fuel to help your business to be catapulted. If you guys are with me, go ahead and put 2 in the chat. If you're with me, put 2 in the chat. If you're with me, put 2 in the chat. Let's talk about another one really quick. Real estate, extremely important. Real estate, extremely important. Real estate, right? The great thing about real estate, guys, is that a lot of you right now, you're saying to yourself, real estate, oh my gosh, well, how am I going to do this? My credit might be bad. I don't got no money. Well, see, the thing about real estate is that as you gain information, then you can use what we call OPM, other people's money. So you can do a real estate pool. You can get together with friends, family. If the credit is okay, you can go to your bank. If the credit is not okay, you get together, you do the real estate pool. And then you can discuss, hey, listen, guys, this is what I'm trying to acquire. This is what I'm trying to do. I believe if we come together, we can do it like this. Now, Cheryl, you have great credit. So here's what we can do. See, information is extremely important as the knowledge piece, but the understanding of it. This is where you come into a ecosystem of individuals who can serve you and help you and take you to another level. So real estate, you leverage other people's money so that you can purchase that real estate. Now, here's the thing. When you purchase that real estate, you now have an income coming in from that real estate that will pay the real estate debt. And then you make sure that it's a deal that obviously would make sense to give you some residual after paying for its now to asset base, but because now you have this property, now you do. And now you can repeat this process again because now you are understanding how it works and you can do it again. And when you do it again, ladies and gentlemen, what essentially will happen is that now you have 2, or now you have 3, or now you have 4. You have gone into a pool where you might say to yourself, well, if they didn't allow me more than 1 or more than 2, now I'm doing it within that business structure, or I'm doing it within that pool of individuals. So now we have 3, 4, 5 properties. Now, guess what? I'm valued at whatever those properties are valued at. And now you can lump those properties together, wrap them together, and then go in for a major loan against those assets that now can take you to another level. See, guys, I need you to understand how important this is with getting information. But the understanding of the information is extremely critical. Now, let me talk about number 3, because I said I'm just going to tap in and give you guys a few things. And whatever further you want to learn about, you can reach out to my team and myself in regards to this. Number 3 is paper assets. Write it down, paper assets. We all know that businesses in real estate require work. There's still work because there's still some active work that needs to happen when building your business or building your real estate portfolio, right? So it didn't go fully passive until you put in that work that's needed, right? So you have to have some active work that will need to go down. But now we're talking about paper assets. Paper assets, what are some of the paper assets? Invest in 1, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, okay? Stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Write it down, guys. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds. And then there's one that's called GSECs, letter G, SECS, okay? Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and GSECs. What are GSECs? They're an instrument that's linked, all right? It has its own risk, these GSECs stocks. these investments. They have their own risks, right? And you can choose what risk capability to actually be at when you're investing in these G-SECs. Why? It's already it's already businesses that is already growing and have been doing well, and now you have a pool of these different business that is showing that's already IPO'd and doing well on how you can invest in these business. So at a lower risk, you have a lower risk capability to then say, wow, this business went IPO and they're doing XYZ. This business is doing this, they're doing XYZ. So you can invest in this. Now, this doesn't take heavy lifting. It takes information and interpretation of the information. So at this point, you can dive in on the study for some time on your own, or now you can reach out to the professionals. You can reach out to my team. You can reach out to a different individual to really learn about this. This is extremely important. So you don't have to really deal with the heavy lifting in this space, like real estate or like building the business, because those take some work that you will do to then get to the passive side. So you're going to have some active work to get to the passive. But at the end of the day, it will become so once you do what needs to be done. But now you got this where you can invest in paper assets, right? Which is extremely important for you guys to understand how important that is to really invest in these things, because I really want to make sure that you guys understand the importance of it, right? Now, some types of paper assets or G-SECs, and let me say this: some type of G-SECs stocks or bonds are things like, for some of you who might be saying, okay, what is it? And I always tell people, Google is your best friend. Treasury bills. Okay, these are some of the G-SECs areas that you can invest in: treasury bills, treasury bonds, treasury notes. Okay, treasury bills, treasury bonds, treasury notes. This is important because you guys want to know, well, okay, what are some of the things I can do to get to the level I need to get to? Now I'm going to move on, because right now some of you're like, hold on a minute now. Look, we have a short space of time, but I want to make sure you get some key components, right? Number 4 is commodities. Number 4 is commodities. Write it down, commodities. Number 4 is commodities. Invest in commodities: gold, silver, oil, food, grains, meat. These are things that remain valuable to mankind, to humankind, even when the economy is at its low. Even when the economy is at its low. See, right now you came on today, you said, hold on, what am I getting? This is why I said, when the information comes and you understand it, you got to just give. Invest in commodities. Invest gold, silver, oil, food, grains. See, some of you here are gold and silver, but you don't understand food and grains, meat. They're necessary, because no matter what happens in the economy, people got to eat. These things have to keep flowing. When there's a shortage of it, it becomes a problem. So what does that mean? That means if you're a person who've invested in it, when there is a shortage because you're holding stocks at a level, your value go up. Come on, somebody. If you guys are with me, put 10 in the chat. I'm hoping you guys are following. Put 10 in the chat. If you're with me, put 10 in the chat. Put 10 in the chat. Come on, guys. Put 10 in the chat. If you're following me, put 10 in the chat. These commodities, they're an asset. We need food to survive, energy to commute, to operate our businesses. We need it. This is very important to make sure you guys are following. You're getting what you need right now. You're being fed what you need right now. This is extremely important. Now, I want to drop this beautiful thing on y'all, but I'm going to hold it back real quick. I'm going to hold this one back. I'm going to let you guys come through the door. I want to drop this one real good, but I'm going to hold it back real quick. I'm going to let y'all come through the door, because this one, upon all the things that I'm giving you, it is just an addition of greatness. And I'm going to hold on to it right this second, because it's moving beyond the interpretation and understanding side into the application side, which is wisdom. So I'm gonna hold on to that really quick. Number 5, write this down. Time. Time. Number 5, write it down. Time is very important. Time. We've all heard that concept, right? That time is money. I want you to think about it. It is the most precious resource to all of us. Time is the most precious resource to all of us. Remember, I told you about slowing up and taking a break to hear and to see if you're busy being busy or busy being productive. Time, it's the most important resource. So when you're young, and this is for somebody out there, when you are young, it's one of the best assets you have when you are young. I'm hoping somebody out here is hearing me. I'm hoping somebody out here is hearing me. When you are young, it's one of the best assets that you have because it allows you to take more risk. Because if you fail or when you fail, you have a bit more time to catch back up on funds that was lost. Oh, somebody needed to hear this. I'm gonna say this again because maybe some of y'all ain't getting me. See, when you are young, it's your greatest asset because that is the time you should be able to take as many risks as possible. Because when you lose, you have time to catch up. So for those who have passed the stage that they feel they're not as young anymore, that is because now you need to be in the space of interpretation, which is understanding, because now your shots that you're firing needs to count. That means you need information and information and information so you can interpret and interpret and interpret to understand what is needed to then move into that wisdom space that I was telling you guys about in regards to application, so that your failure wouldn't be as if when you're young, because the time that is needed or allotted to create the change that can happen so fast when you are moving on a certain frequency, you want to already be in that space when you get to a certain place. I don't know if somebody got me. I don't know if somebody is following me. I'm hoping you guys are following. One of the greatest assets you have is time. See, once you enter into old age, there's no looking back. There's no looking back when you enter into old age. There is no I wish I could have, should have, would have. No. But can it happen all the way there? Absolutely. But see, it is a practice that should be perfected from before, or you have to be open and in receiving mode to create the change that is needed if it didn't happen from before. If you're with me, type 1 in the chat. If you're with me, type 1 in the chat. If you're with me, type 1 in the chat. I'll say something real quick because I want to make sure somebody catch this and hold on to this, right? Before I give you guys these last two, I'm going to say something real quick. You're hearing or listening to what I'm saying. If you did not grasp it, I want to make sure you understand that it's okay, because I may be speaking, but though that I'm speaking and some is grasping, some may not, because it's almost like I'm speaking in what you call parabolic language. That is how the Creator, Christ that walked, that's how he spoke. When you guys heard say he spoke in parables. See, parables, and you hear parables and you say, well, why is he speaking in parables? See, the thing about parables, ladies and gentlemen, it's parabolic language. What it simply means is that a parabolic language, it's just information. You do not speak the truth. I need you to hear me clearly, right? The information you're speaking, it's only for the mind that needs to discover it. So when you speak in the parabolic language, the mind that needs to discover it will understand it. So when someone cannot grasp what is being said, it is just that they have not arrived there yet. So when he was speaking in parables, what was essentially happening is that it's a way to speak and hide the truth until the person is ready to receive it. So you got to be in receiving mode to get what you need to get, to interpret what you need to interpret, to understand what you need to understand. The levels of life is all based on your understanding of it. I'm hoping somebody's following me. I'm hoping somebody's following me. See, so you got to understand when you hear it say, I don't really understand. Well, it's okay because you just might not be there yet. So it's the truth being hidden in the parabolic language, a parabolic way, so that when the student is truly ready, so the teacher does not dictate the subject. I want to make sure somebody understand me. The teacher does not dictate the subject. It is the student who dictates the subject. The student dictates what the teacher will teach, because based on how your readiness is, based on how your openness is, based on if you are ready to receive, ooh, that's when the information is going to come to you. I'm hoping somebody following me. I'm hoping somebody is following me today. I'm hoping somebody's following me today. Let me go ahead and give y'all number 6 real quick. Number 6 is your health. Number 6 is your health. Number 6 is your health. We talked about time. We're talking about these things that will get you wealthy, these things that will get you rich, right? These 8 things. Number 6 is your health. Most of us, we don't take care of our bodies when we are young. We don't. We carry on. We eat junk, all unhealthy foods, because we believe go to all these restaurants and eat all types of garbage, and everyone around you, the masses, will tell you that you young, you good, don't worry about that, live a little. You hear a lot of that talk, which in turn will lead to ailments cutting your time short. I'm hoping somebody's hearing that. Which in turn will lead to ailments cutting your time short. But yet you said you want to be successful. Yet you said you want to do some amazing things in life. But now everyone around you, oh my gosh, he just started. How can he just leave us this quick? He's only 28 or he's only 32. How can he leave us this quick? What really happened to him? Well, what happened to him is that, according to, if it followed that guideline that I just read, is you should understand that the road that the masses travel, though it is leading to the destination that they seek, it is the road that's crowded that will never allow you to get there. So you travel the road less traveled that may have the dips and the valleys and the mountains, but in the process, you will go through the process. So in the journey, you will go through the process. And there's something about the journey and the process that creates something amazing on the outcome. So I need you to understand how important it is that you should look at what that component of health means in your life. That's number 6. Number 7, let's talk about number 7. I'll move on. Online assets. Online assets. Write it down really quick. Online assets. I really appreciate you guys joining today, because I just wanted to really dive in and give you guys some solid things. Online assets. Write it down. Online assets. This is very important so you understand ways that you can succeed, right? See, it doesn't cost anything. Check this out. To start a YouTube channel. Nada. It doesn't cost anything to start a YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything for you to start writing down and putting together an online course, blog, website, social media page. It doesn't cost. Online assets. But yet, some of us, as you hear my voice, some of you, I can't do that. I don't know. I don't want nobody in my business. Ooh, you heard what you said? Which is you, don't want anyone in my business. Write that word down. Write it down really well. Write that down. I don't want anyone in my business. And I want you to study each one of those words and see how you are the one that have been destroying your own opportunities because you really don't understand the principle of the tongue, the karmic laws, and how the laws of reaping and sowing works. I don't want anyone in my business. I don't want to be on that social media because I'm my page private. Well, to have a business means that you are in the public eye. To step outside your door when you leave your home means you are in the eyes of the public. There is no such thing as privacy when you are seeking to create change that will help generations or you and your family. No. So you see that? Online assets, it doesn't cost anything. It is just the time that needs to be inputted in that. This is extremely important for you guys to get. Now write down this last one because I'm not even going to go further there. Write down this last one. The last one, number 8, your network. Ooh, your network. Your network, ladies and gentlemen. Number 8, your network. Please write it down, right? Your network. How important is that to you? Your network. Developing that personal brand, that goodwill by showing and serving and giving and developing that online presence or going out to different events, connecting with individuals will allow you to develop and build clientele base. And those clientele base will refer other clientele base to you based on seeing the character and knowing the character of who you are. So when they talked about you are the sum of the 5 people that you're around, what is your network? Because your network is your net worth. So you can monetize your network by serving them. And in turn, serving the network allows them to see the value in you and in turn serve you. Come on, somebody. I believe we think it's a handed out thing, but there's no such thing as free. There's no such thing. The way how the laws have been created, the way how the universe is created, the way how the creator did all what he's done, there's no such thing as free. A matter of fact, if you study well enough, the creator is not a respecter of those that want something for free, because seeking him, seeking to be greater, seeking to have a business, seeking to build a bank account that's unimaginable, seeking to have all these fantastic things in life, seeking to just have a life that's easy. It's work, cost, work, cost, work. See that? C-O-S-T, work. C-O-S-T equal work. You know what work is? Work is not free. You have to put in work, whether you like it or not. There's these 4 letters. There's some 4 letters that you cannot run from. They will come. And let me give you 3 of them. They will come. Love, L-O-V-E. Fear, F-E-A-R. Work, W-O-R-K. They will come. How you operate in them, with them, woo, solely depends on the first thing, the will, the desire, the urge, but most importantly, the knowledge, the understanding, and the wisdom. Now I'm gonna tap into more of that teaching later, but I wanna make sure you guys are following me today. These 8 things make it become your best friends, ladies and gentlemen. Make it become your best friends. For those who may not have gotten it all, number 1 was a business. Number 2 is real estate. Number 3 is paper assets. Number 4 is commodities. Number 5 is time. Number 6, your health. Number 7, online assets. Number 8, your network. This is extremely important. If you can only gather the information and work towards getting the understanding, you will gain success, wild success, beyond your dreams. Why? It is because you would have elevated yourself on the frequency level that all these things that you seek will have come into your territory, but they're moving around and you're not even in that vicinity because you're vibrating lower. But if you follow the principles, you will edge up on that level, and then you'll wonder, why is this happening so fast? It's not that it's happening fast, it's because it's been done. It's been the will, it's been the desire, it's been the urge. And now it is you who now have arrived. Your physical you have now arrived because your inner man, your spirit man that's connected to all things has already been where it need to be. So you had to catch up. So guys, I really appreciate you guys today. I want you guys to really tap in, talk to me a little bit on the chats real quick before we end this segment. I want to know what some of you are thinking. I want to just kind of do a little open up real quick because I know I'm always ecstatic when I see some of you on the call. Super excited that you guys join in. If there's anyone who want to tap in real quick, anyone who want to tap in and just really talk to me really quick, I'll open up for a minute or two because I want to hear from you guys. You've heard this. I've given you these 8 components, these 8 powerful avenues to where you can take it to another level. So I want to hear from some of you. I don't know if Miss Tina is out there. I don't know who's available to jump on in, but I want to hear from you guys. Who would like to just unmute and share a quick word based on what they have heard today and where they see themselves? Anyone want to do that? Anyone want to jump on in here? So I guess obviously everyone has it together. Everyone is winning. Everyone is doing some amazing things.
Here's something.
Oh, I was about to.
Okay, awesome. Well, hey, listen, ladies first, and then the gentleman can go right after. Jump on in. Who am I speaking with?
This is Tiara Gold.
Hey, Tiara, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I just wanted to say real quick, like, it's just really crazy, like the alignment type of vibe it is for me right now, because I swear I was just talking to someone, right? I was just talking to someone and I was showing them all the things that I used to do. And he was like, oh, because if you hang out with 5 millionaires, then you're going to be the 6th. And then you said it. And I was like, hey, someone just said that a few hours ago. And I've also been thinking about like just, taking care of yourself, because health is wealth. So, just trying to get myself together and just being on that frequency, because you have to be on it on the same, radio station, or at least something that resonates with it, in harmony.
That's good. That's good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Tiara, for sharing. That is so good. I'm hoping somebody grasped what she just said, because that definitely means a lot for us to hear out here and to know that the alignment is real, and that is really what we aim for. So thank you again for sharing that. The gentleman who was jumping in, go on ahead and unmute and speak your truth.
Absolutely, absolutely. I hope y'all can hear me. I just stepped outside thinking it was quieter out here, but it's actually some traffic. But I hope y'all can hear me. I don't know, man. Just like Sierra Gold was saying, just the alignment. I think everything happens for a reason. Even this call, even you saying the things that you said. And I think the biggest takeaway for me was the parabolic language. I feel like that was probably the biggest piece right there, because everybody can hear the same words, but it's going to resonate differently for everyone at the level that they're at. So somebody might not understand parabolic language and speaking in parables, but somebody who's at that level of understanding, as soon as you say a parable, they're like, wow, it hits, it sinks in, and the message hits a little bit differently. But just going over and just hearing all of these different, just the 8 things that you were saying, I've come a long way following just the different things that put in front of us, the different opportunities and the different level of guidances, and just how everything accumulates together for me to be in this very moment right now. It's like, wow, you're talking about commodities, you're talking about online, you're talking about your health, you're talking about time. And it's just like all of these things is people hear these things and just kind of rub it off and be like, oh yeah, that's important, but really going deeper into the nuances of each thing, and so just to be here and to hear those things, I'm taking my health more seriously now than ever. So to hear that in the 8 things that health is on that, like, you can't, you can amass all the wealth that you want, but if you're not here to enjoy it, it really doesn't have any true value. So I'm glad that you was able to speak on those things. And it kind of just reassures me that I'm in the right space. I'm in front of the right people. I gotta rub shoulders with those individuals that's gonna get me to where they've already been. So again, I appreciate you, and yeah, it was great. It was a great session tonight.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much, Derek. We appreciate you, brother. Salute always. It's just amazing to have good people around and always tapping in. So thank you very much again for speaking your truth. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak their truth before we close out? I love hearing this from you guys, because then it tells me that we here at the Leadership Summit, we're doing what we need to do. Lula, I believe. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. Boston. Tonight was just a combination of everything that has been happening over the past few weeks. And as some of you already said, you just kind of feel like this conversation is in alignment with where you are. I 100% felt that. I met your wife for the second time in an airport a few weeks ago. Told her, I had been following you guys for a while and just, understanding the message. And I really appreciate the guidance that you've given. Coming from where I'm from, that's not normal information that you guys are giving. And I promise you, I want you to understand how valuable it really is. And if anybody on this call knows how valuable it is, I'm definitely one of those people right now. So I'm super grateful. A week before last, I got to experience my biggest dream because of your wife, who told me, like, so what are you doing next? Like, okay, great. You got this dream, you got this thing in your heart, you got this business that you started, you got these, you're doing the things that you said you're doing. So now what? So it was like I had the busyness, right? But I didn't have the fullness of the productivity of that busyness.
Mm.
So I started to make intentional efforts towards that. And the first thing I started doing right after that was working on my health. I was like, okay, I'm going to cut out all meat products. So I'm really focus in. I'm going to exercise for sure every day and stay focused on it, drink my water, get my steps in, that type of thing. And I've been intentional about it. So it's going on 3.5 months now that I haven't eaten meat, and I've, had my body regenerated in that moment. My mind got, so me being able to chase down my goals wasn't so heavy anymore. I just really appreciate you guys, like I said, giving this information, because as I gotten to the point where I am right now, I'm like, okay, what do I do next? I don't know. I'm at a standstill. And I literally just told somebody what success feels like in the moment sometimes to me is being in waters that I've never been in I don't know if the sharks are coming. I don't know if a pirate is coming. I don't know if anybody is going to leave me there floating forever or if I'm ever going to find land. But I hope I'm going to find land. And so eventually I do. And when I do, I land on an island of my people and it feels amazing. And this is the second, maybe third time in a month that I've had this moment where I could connect with my people. I appreciate all of you guys for being here because y'all seem to understand and have the mindset of this too, that we are definitely slated for something greater.
Oh
And the
man.
fact that you believe that you even showed up to this. I'm usually one of those people that's like, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. We've talked about this over the years. I'm still, doing this job thing. And I found that that's keeping me busy from really flourishing in my own thing. And I've been validated at this point. It's not like I'm doing this silly craft and it's cutesy or whatever. Like I've actually had my models walk down New York Fashion Week, validated by the world at this point.
Mm,
What's
mm,
stopping?
mm. Wow. Wow.
Knowledge that was stopping me. I didn't know what else to do next. So having this conversation really enlightened me, and I appreciate this 1,000%. 1,000%.
Oh my gosh, these things, what you just said has just touched my heart. And I know my wife would be elated to hear that as well. And it's really all about just serving. How do we serve? And even if it's one that it affected in this great way, then we know that we have done what needed to be done and we have fulfilled a calling. So I am truly elated just to hear you and hear that. Truly, truly appreciated, Lula. That is really heartfelt. Thank you for sharing that, and congratulations, because there is more greatness coming your way because you are stepping into the realm, whether you like it or not. It is already happening. So you're
I
going to
appreciate
move into the flow of greatness. Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I received that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Anyone else who wish to share really quick before we drop off? Anyone else really want to just kind of dive in and speak their truth really quick? This has just been amazing to me. This is really what I believe we live for here at the summit, to hear from you all. So when we open it up, it's just so powerful to hear. So anyone else before we go? Just want to know if anyone else want to share anything. And I am truly grateful for you guys topping in with us this evening. This has been awesome for me. I'm fired up. I'll leave you guys with this. My wife and I, we service is extremely important to us, and I will continue to serve as long as I have breath in my body. Because it's such an important task. And I believe all things that I seek, health, wealth, everything, if I continue to serve, then there will be doors opening that will give me the knowledge, and I will be able to interpret and understand what needs to be done to maintain my health, to really work with time, being a manager of it, because I cannot beat it, right? But I can work with it, and that's important. And someone out there saw the value as we serve, just like how we see it in you all. And I want to tell you guys, my wife and I have been nominated to receive the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. It's so surreal. It's still surreal. I haven't fully grasped it yet, but I'm truly grateful. And things like this, I guess, when you're alive to witness it, you just don't know, at least for me, how to really take it. But I'm just going to take it in the strides of gratefulness, appreciation, to continue to serve you guys. We're not title people, but we are just grateful that someone or the group recognized us. So that happens in DC this week, but there's so much going on, right? Well, like I said to you guys, there's so much going on. So grateful and love you guys. So much love for all of you. Continue to be a part of the Leadership Summit. Bring friends, have them get poured into as well. Let us be able to tap into areas because we have heard from them. And you guys, please text us or type in the chat what you would like to hear speak on? What would you like us to hear? What short talks would you like us to give? Right, these are key things when we hear from you all, because then it allows me to go and dive into studies. I may have studied it already, or maybe I need to sharpen up. So I love to be able to be sharpened by you guys, and that's really important to me because I remain a student in this journey. So yes, thank you guys very much for joining us today. I know we went over, but I just wanted to hear from you all. So again, thank you very much. I love you guys, much love and appreciation, and I hope to see you guys next week, because it's going to be impactful, and it's going to be from a different part of the world. So that's going to be an amazing thing as well. So stay tuned for all that's coming. I love you guys. Y'all be blessed and have a fantastic evening. Okay. Bye-bye.